Right, g'day everyone. I'm Bogart, the explorer from Double City from PaperbugTV, and we're joined today by the absolutely brilliant director of the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, the next blockbuster hit, Mr. James Gunn. How's it going, sir?
Oh, it's going great, and I am excited to be here.
Wow, wonderful. Were you always a comic book guy growing up?
I'm a huge comic book guy. My hero as a kid was Stan Lee. I read comic books nonstop. I had a huge comic book collection as a kid, and Marvel comics in particular. So I really was very excited when I got the opportunity to direct Guardians of the Galaxy, being a lifelong comic book fan.
Definitely. Have you had the chance to meet Stan Lee as well?
Oh, I've met Stan Lee many times, and Stan Lee has a little tiny cameo in the movie, which of course was really fun for me. I got to direct him, and I gave him a really hot young girl that he had to fondle, which he was very pleased with.
So I'm guessing that's...
But don't tell his wife. But
yeah.
yeah.
Most definitely. What was the most favorite memory of the movie, shooting the film?
Chris Pratt and Zoe Saldana, there's a moment where they're out on this balcony and we were shooting the scene and the scene wasn't working, and I actually went in there and like tore it apart and rewrote it on set and redid the whole thing. And that scene between the two of them is so natural and so real and so beautiful. It was really one of my favorite moments on the set. There was a great moment on set where Ronan, played by Lee Pace, started doing a big dance-off with Peter Quill that we shot. It's not in the movie, it's, you know, obviously Ronan does not do dance-offs, but we have this big scene with all of the characters dancing and all the extras dancing, and it's going to be a great behind the scenes. Wow. But it was a lot of fun.
How did you come up with a vision of how you wanted the movie to go, like a sci-fi comedy type of thing? How did you come up with that?
Well, I really, you know, when I was a kid, I loved movies. I mean, I've loved movies since I was a little kid, and strangely, I started loving movies with Disney movies, and then I really fell in love with movies when, you know, Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back and Raiders of the Lost Ark came out. And I said, I want to create a movie, not that's like those movies I loved as a kid, but that can make people feel the same way that those movies made me feel as a kid, that could give me, you know, people the sense of wonder and magic and love and laughter that those films had. And that was really the base of where I came from with Guardians, was to create something that was, you know, truly magical cinema. And something also that was, you know, an antidote to a lot of the big blockbusters that are out today that don't care so much about their characters, that characters are secondary, that, you know, they have explosions, but they don't have the plot to, you know, to lead it through from one scene to the next. So to be able to sort of give something that was fresh and new and different in that way was very exciting to me. A lot of movies, you know, take themselves so seriously that it's almost like a bummer watching them. And I didn't want Guardians to be that. I wanted this to be something that people went into the theater, had a great time for 2 hours, and walked out and liked themselves and each other a little bit more, as opposed to, you know, feeling badly about the world.
I saw a 17-minute clip yesterday, and I felt bad because it was too short.
Yeah.
I had to keep on going. Yeah. So you put a lot of importance in your characters. How did you motivate your actors and actresses to play the role exactly as you envision it to be?
You know, really, when you're working with an actor, it really is a partnership. You know, so there are times when I had something in my head and then that person really needs to say it exactly how I envisioned, and I would give line readings or whatever I needed to do to get that. But for the most part, it was like working, you know, in a collaboration with people like Zoe Saldana and Chris Pratt, and finding how could I not only, you know, create the character that I wanted to create, but how can I allow them to come out as powerfully as possible to make the character even better than what I imagined.
Yeah, well, what about the voice talents though? Did you really have to get big names like Vin Diesel and Bradley Cooper for a character that, like Groot, in 3 words?
Well, listen, I mean, it's the thing is we didn't need to get big actors. It just kind of ended up that way. You know, with Rocket, we auditioned a lot of different actors. We auditioned a lot of, you know, voice talents. But frankly, a lot of them seemed sort of cartoony. And then we auditioned a lot of, you know, comedians, famous comedians, not so well-known comedians. And Bradley Cooper came in, he really was the guy to me. He's able to do drama, he's able to do comedy, and he's able to create a character that is outside of himself, that is his own thing, you know? I think with Vin Diesel, we really got lucky because I'm like you, I thought, you know, how hard is it for somebody to say I am Groot? And in fact, in the early, screenings of the movie, it's me saying I am Groot, and I'm like, well, I'm fine, And then Vin came in, and he just blew away everyone who had ever done I Am Groot. First of all, you believe he's a tree. I don't know how he does it, but that voice seems to be coming out of that character. It doesn't seem to be Vin Diesel. It seems to be coming out of that tree. And secondarily, he's such a perfectionist that I needed to write out every single I Am Groot line, what it meant, so that he could add that to the inflection of how he said I Am Groot. And he really adds to the character. Groot is a lot of people's favorite character, and that is in no small part because of Vin Diesel.
Okay, who was your favorite character?
Rocket.
Rocket, why? Did you see yourself in him?
Yeah, I see myself in Rocket. I think Rocket and I know I seem like a very jovial, nice person. I have a lot of anger issues that I had growing up, and I really see that in Rocket, and it's really a way to deal with just feeling like odd man out. And I really feel that in Rocket. I feel it in myself, and I've come to love the little guy like he's my own son.
Wow. One question that a lot of people have been wanting me to ask you.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxies and Avengers, are they ever going to meet?
Well, I think there's a good possibility for that. I think people are going to have to stay tuned and keep going to those Marvel movies to figure out if that happens. But I'd say there's a pretty good chance that someday the Guardians of the Galaxy and the Avengers may share a space.
Wow.
Maybe even just have a drink. Who knows?
Would you like to direct that movie?
No.
Was it? So this movie was indeed very challenging.
No. I'm going to direct another Guardians of the Galaxy if I'm able to do it. I will direct anything Marvel Cosmic. But these are my babies, and I don't know if I want to divide my attention between Avengers and Guardians. The Guardians are my babies.
Wow. Wait, before we go though, I have a
Whoa,
culture.
yes.
It's called a
It's a
barrel
bomb.
man. No, it's a barrel man.
What does he do?
Lift it.
Whoa, it's got
Yeah.
a big penis.
No, it's a traditional Philippine gift. It's called the barrel man. It's everywhere in the country.
This is great. That's me. That's
Yeah.
me.
I just-
That's exactly. I don't know where you found one that was so perfectly like my proportions.
Hooked on a feeling, I'm high on believing that you're